Hi everyone, my name's Ruth and today we are going to be CADing a simple snowflake with different shapes on Tinkercad. I do apologize, I have a machine running behind me, so I'm sorry if there's any background noise, but let's get started. So we're going to start with a star, and we're going to put it right in the middle, and then right here there is a little rotating button, so we're going to click that and then click and hold, and I'm just going to move it over once. That way the star is pointing up more. And then we're going to go back up here and we're going to click this box and just put it right next to the star. Now when doing this, you can do it many different ways, but we're just going to grab one side. It's this now red cube, but if I let go and then re-click, all these cubes are white except for these center points, which you can also grab. So when you grab the center point, it moves just horizontally. But if I grabbed this point right here, this white cube that's now turned red, I can drag it in any direction. I can drag it vertically or horizontally or both. Now, if you just click on the shape and then drag, you can reposition it. That just allows you to move it around the build plate. Then I'm going to right click with my mouse or your keypad. I would suggest having a mouse, but you can do it either way. It may be a little more challenging with the keypad, but there are different ways to get around it. So what I'm doing is I'm rotating it, but what you can also do is, let me go back up, you can also go to this cube at the top and you can click this highlighted blue piece and it will rotate it for you. Now I clicked on the square and I'm going to click this white square here and drag down. That just changes the height. So I'm going to drag it down a little bit below the star and then I'm going to rotate back up. Now I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to click the star and I'm going to go up here to the duplicate and repeat button. This button can duplicate and repeat multiple objects or just one object, however you would like to do it. What you can do is you can select the star and the red piece and duplicate it, and it'll duplicate both objects together, which we don't need to do for this moment, so we're just going to duplicate the star, and then we're going to grab it and just drag it over here. And I'm also going to rotate this one click, so that way it's mirrored over here. Now I want to grab this star, duplicate it again, drag it over here, and rotate it one click. Now I'm going to drag it a little bit out more. You want it to look pretty equal. That being said, you don't have to worry because it's a snowflake. All snowflakes are different, and if it's a little off, it won't make a big difference. So now we are going to click this, and I'm just going to make mine a little smaller. It is a little strange getting used to how the scaling works with this program, but you just want to kind of keep them with their basic shapes. And if it gets morphed a little bit, or if it's not the perfect size, it's not a big deal. Like I said, everything is different. So now we're going to go ahead and we're going to select these two. And I'm going to hold down the Shift key and select this star. The only star we don't want is this middle star. And as you can see, it's not highlighted because we didn't select it. I'm going to go up to this button here and group it. As you can see, it also turned it all one color. That's a good way to know if you selected the center star or not, because it would have also turned that red color. So what we're going to do is we're going to add our little, like, I don't know what you would call it, but little pieces that come off of our snowflake. I'm going to grab another cube and I'm going to put it right here. And I'm just going to make it thinner. I'm also going to turn it and make sure that height-wise, it's pretty equal to the height that we already have for this red piece right here, which was our original red cube. So now I'm going to click this. We're going to just rotate it twice. And we're going to put it like right there. I'm actually going to rotate it back once. And we'll have it right there. And then I'm going to select it. And I'm going to move it up to right there. So you can play around where the distance is. Like if you want it to be further to the left or further to the right, you can definitely change that. It's up to you. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to click this piece that we just made. I'm going to go up to the mirror button and I'm going to click that. Now you have two options, and when you hover over the options, it'll let you know which way, like how it will look. That being said, I did forget to do one thing, so we're going to do this first. I'm so sorry. We're going to duplicate it, and then we're going to hit the mirror button. Now I'm going to mirror it going down, and then I'm going to drag it to right here. And you should get something that's pretty equal. It's okay if it's not perfect. We're just going to leave it for there for now, but we're also going to then click both of these. So I just held shift again, so let me redo it. So I clicked this shape, and then I held shift and clicked this shape, and that's how you can get them to go at the same time. I'm going to group them to make them one piece, and I'm going to duplicate, which is just this top button up here, and then I'm going to go back over to mirror. I'm going to click mirror, and it should, if you hover over this bottom arrow, it should give you a shadow of what it would look like mirrored. So this is mirroring over the y-axis, right? So we're going to click this, and then you can drag it and just put it wherever you would like. Now that we're getting closer to the final product, what we're going to do is we're going to select everything, and we're going to hold down shift because we also want to select these pieces. We want this red star piece, this piece, and this piece, like both of the pieces where they're coming off of the main branch. And we want to go up and group them. Hold on, it must have been selected. So I'm going to hold, well, I can just select. So I'm going to select these two, and we're going to group. And now you can see that it's all one shape. So the one way you can tell if you did everything right is that you won't see any overlapping lines. Everything will be solid. The only thing is that there's a line here connecting the star to the original red piece. And that is because if you zoom in, that's because they're showing you that there's a height difference. And that height difference is perfectly fine. You kind of want that to help give depth to the object. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to go and hit top, and that'll recenter the build plate. I'm going to duplicate this object, so hit the duplicate button up here. And then we're going to click the rotate. And we're going to rotate it 3 clicks, let go, and there we have it. And then we're going to click this, the center one that we started with. We're going to duplicate. We're going to rotate. So as you can see, not everything lines up perfectly with these center clicks. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag my mouse out to this open area, and then that way I can decide where I want it to fall exactly without it being constrained. So I'm going to let go and click on the build plate, and now you have a little starburst ornament. But there's one last thing we have to do. And that is we're going to go over here to this cylinder with gray striped lines. We're going to click that. We're going to just put it on this blue surface, and then we're going to drag. We're going to drag it right over this star. It doesn't matter which star you drag it over, it can be any. And then what we're going to do is we're going to make it smaller, so I'm going to click this and make it smaller like that. And we're just going to place it in the center. Now we want to turn this around and click on it, and as you can see, it goes all the way through to the bottom. You can even go under the model and see that here's that shape going underneath. And overall, the reason this shape, it looks clear, right? If we have it here, you can see how it has like a clear, translucent thing. The reason for that is that it's going to put a hole in this model. So when I select everything together, so that's what I'm going to do now. So I'm going to select everything, and I'm going to go up to the group button. I'm going to click group, and it added a clear hole right there. So then you could add a keychain through it. You could add string through it. It's a great way to make keychains, ornaments, anything that you want. But now you have this little sunburst snowflake ornament. It's super quick. It's pretty easy. The main things I will point out are that it only uses basic shapes. We only used 3 shapes. We used a star, a cube, and a cylinder. And we were able to transform those shapes into an end product. And that's the type of stuff that we will be going over in these lessons, is how to use basic shapes to get finished products.